Now on WKYT Midmorning, an Amber Alert remains in effect as state police continue to search for a missing toddler. The second presidential debate gets fiery as both candidates go on the attack. And Rupp Arena is holding a contest letting UK fans get the chance to name the arena's new scoreboard. Find out how just ahead.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Good morning and thank you so much for joining us for Midmorning here on WKYT. I'm Andrea Walker. Bill and Barbara have the morning off. Well, we are coming off a chilly but beautiful weekend, and that trend is expected to continue throughout your work week. Meteorologist Micah Harris joins us now with an early look at your forecast.
Yeah, we finished off this morning in the upper 30s for some spots. Not all spots, most spots were there in the 40s, but nonetheless, we're still talking about the 30s in a couple locations. Right now, we're sitting there in the 50s, a lot of sunshine. It's a beautiful start to the day. 55 degrees right now in Moorhead and also Frankfort. You work your way southbound. Monticello finished off at 36 degrees in Monticello. You guys now about 20 degrees above schedule. As we get off into the afternoon, we'll be roughly 70. And the focus of the forecast, when you start seeing warming temperatures, that typically means a system's on the way. And that is exactly what it means in our 7-day forecast. Could it bring some rain finally? I'll have that coming up in a few minutes.
We begin this mid-morning with breaking news. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office is investigating a deadly crash. It happened shortly after 8 a.m. on Camargo Road in Mount Sterling. Details are limited right now, but here is what we know. Police say at least one person is dead. At this time, both lanes of Camargo are closed. WKYT's Caitlin Sintner is at the scene gathering more information. She will have a live update coming up on WKYT at noon. EKU police have given the all clear after issuing a campus alert this morning. The alert was sent out shortly before 6 a.m. after Richmond police found a victim with multiple stab wounds in the area of Madison and Summit. Police have not released any details on the suspect. WKYT's Mike Byer is gathering more details on the incident, and we'll have an update coming up on WKYT at noon. An Amber Alert remains in effect throughout Kentucky this morning. State police need your help finding missing 4-year-old Rebecca Lewis, who was reported missing by family members after she disappeared from her home in Florida on Saturday morning. Rebecca is believed to be with 31-year-old West Hoggs. The two were last seen near Cove Lake State Park in Caryville, Tennessee, near the Kentucky-Tennessee border. Police say Rebecca is 3 feet tall, 30 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes. She was last seen wearing a pink dress. Police say Hoggs has an L-shaped scar on his left side of his head and tattoos of a blue cross and Chinese symbol. Police believe the two are in a 2012 silver Nissan Versa with an Alabama handicap plate 4JL26. The car also has a magnetic animal rescue paw on the driver's side near the trunk area. If you see either of these two, you're asked to call 911 immediately. It's the story everyone's talking about this morning. The second presidential debate played out against a backdrop of controversy last night. After days of coverage about the Friday release of a recording in which Donald Trump is heard making degrading comments about women, the tape was just one of the issues nominees battled over during a fiery 90-plus minute face-off. Jamie Yukas looks at some of the more contentious moments from last night's debate. All right, we're having trouble with that story right now, but we will move on. Regal Cinemas nationwide invited the public to watch last night's debate free of charge on the big screen. Many people in Lexington took part in the event. People we talked to said they like the idea of watching with people they don't know, saying it's a great way to bring people together. Now, if you plan on voting this November, the deadline for voter registration in Kentucky is 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. A Mercer County teenager accused of murdering another teen will head back to court today. 16-year-old Trenton Easterling is accused of killing 17-year-old Tristan Cole in April. Today's hearing is the first time Easterling will appear in court since pleading not guilty in July. He is expected in court at 9 o'clock this morning. 2 other teens face charges in connection to this case. Police are still searching for a man suspected in a deadly shooting in Laurel County. It happened at a home on Middle Ground Road in London. Police say they found Donnie Stone dead from multiple gunshots. Investigators are now looking for Stone's stepson, John Stricker. Family members say Stricker has a history of mental illness and is off his medication. Police say Stricker is driving a 2004 black Dodge pickup truck with Kentucky license plate 408 VBW. Lexington police are investigating after a couple was robbed near UK's campus. It happened just before midnight on Horseman's Lane off Red Mile Road. Police say the couple was outside their apartment when 5 men armed with a gun and a large knife stole their keys, phones, and cash. The couple, thankfully, was not hurt. A Boyle County couple faces charges after police say they let their children live in filthy conditions. According to the Advocate Messenger, Gregory Wilkerson and Brandy Harmon were indicted on 3 counts of criminal abuse. The Boyle County Sheriff's Office says the two were found back in July living in a shed behind Wilkerson's sister's home with no electricity or running water. Deputies told us at the time the children had to be treated for bed bugs and extreme rashes. Wilkerson and Harmon are in the Boyle County Detention Center. Samsung says it will temporarily stop making its Galaxy Note 7 after reports that even the replacement phones have caught fire. Over the weekend, we spoke to a Nicholasville man who says his new phone exploded on his nightstand while he was sleeping. He had to go to the hospital to be checked out, and last week, a man says his Samsung phone started smoking while on a Southwest Airlines flight at the Louisville airport. Smoke from that phone forced the plane to be evacuated. AT&T and T-Mobile say they will stop offering replacements for the phone. All right, let's try this again. The second presidential debate played out against a backdrop of controversy last night after days of coverage about the Friday release of a recording which Donald Trump is heard saying degrading comments about women. The tape, though, was just one of the issues they battled over during the 90-minute face-off. Jamie Yukas has a look at the more contentious moments from last night's debate.
Hillary Clinton couldn't wait to celebrate on the plane ride home after wrapping up last night's second presidential debate.
I feel absolutely great. The most important thing is we need to take off so that we can actually have some drinks served.
Donald Trump's team was just as excited.
I think he prosecuted his case much better in this debate than he did in the first one.
But there were no celebrations during the debate as the two candidates attacked each other for 90 minutes. Trump had to answer for a video from 2005 where he described his advances on women.
I'm very embarrassed by it. I hate it, but it's locker room talk, and it's one of those things. I will knock the hell out of ISIS. We're going to defeat ISIS.
Okay, Donald, I know you're into big diversion tonight, anything to avoid talking about your campaign and the way it's exploding and the way Republicans are leaving you.
While Clinton was attacked for her use of a private email server while Secretary of State.
I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation.
Trump's attacks on Clinton actually started before the debate when he sat down with 4 women who accuse her and President Bill Clinton of bullying and sexual misconduct.
Clinton's campaign says the guests were meant to distract Clinton, but say it didn't work. The two candidates will square off one more time when they debate in Las Vegas next week. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, St. Louis.
Now again, the deadline to vote in the November elections, the deadline to register here in Kentucky is 4 o'clock tomorrow. Well, once a potent hurricane, Matthew is speeding east into the Atlantic this morning. But life-threatening flooding is expected to continue in portions of North Carolina through the week. Thousands of people had to be rescued from homes and businesses when Hurricane Matthew's torrential rains triggered severe flooding in the state. The death toll in the U.S. has climbed to at least 19, nearly half coming out of North Carolina alone. Authorities say helicopters are ferrying in food and medicine to devastated southwestern Haiti almost a week after Hurricane Matthew rocked the island nation. There's still no electricity, and water and food are scarce in the country. Officials say more than 500 people have already been confirmed dead. Thousands are without homes. The death toll is expected to rise as emergency crews make their way to several remote communities cut off by collapsed roads and bridges. U.S. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is scheduled to visit Central Kentucky today. His first stop in the Bluegrass State will be in Danville. He'll talk to city leaders and members of the community on some major issues. Senator McConnell will then go to Lexington this afternoon. He'll announce a new initiative at the UK College of Law, along with UK President Eli Capilouto. That announcement is at 3 o'clock this afternoon. All right, UK fans, listen up. Big Bertha has been replaced by a new state-of-the-art scoreboard, but now it needs a name too. Rupp Arena is holding a contest for UK fans. The winner will be announced during the UK-UCLA game on December 3rd. The winner, get this, will get 2 tickets to every public ticketed event at Rupp, including UK games and concerts for the 2017 season. Pretty good prize right there. Keep it here on Mid-Morning. We've got a lot more news ahead. We're taking a closer look at odd competition, the wife carrying competition. Yes, this is a real thing. We'll find out who won and their prize when we come back on WKYT Mid-Morning.
Pretty fun event right there. Live sky camera, awesome weather in the forecast. It's a little chilly this morning, but it gets really nice later on this afternoon. That's going to be the case the next few days until a big front rolls through here on Thursday and Friday. Any rain with that? I'll have that coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We started off in the 40s for virtually every location. There were some spots 38, 39 degrees. It was a little chilly early this morning. Still on the cool side right now. We're 55 in Frankfort. Jenkins looks good as you work your way over toward Pike County. London, Corbin, I don't see any problems whatsoever. And here in Fayette County, we're looking just fine. 70 degrees later on this afternoon. That's a nice day in store. Got to remember that's right around average. And then we look toward Tuesday and Wednesday, seeing those temperatures bump up just a little bit more. We'll be in there in the mid-70s the next couple of days, but staying dry. You can see that on Wednesday. Thursday, though, look at the front and move on through. Now, it will bring us the chance of rain, but it's not a good chance. Chilly air slides on in right behind that front. I would say Thursday and Friday there is a chance, but once again, it's small. It's talking 30, 40%. That's about it, with temperatures dropping 10 to 15 degrees, but we're kind of needing that rain around here. I know a lot of us, yards, crops, a lot of the farmers are really wanting this rain. You got to remember that October is one of the driest months of the year. So check out these rainfall facts. Since August 1st, we've only had 4 days that have been above ½ an inch of rain. Only 4 out of the past 2.5 months. September and October typically are our driest months on average, when September typically gets about 2.9 inches in October, roughly 3.15 inches. So it just shows you that this is right around average, right around normal is what we typically see. It's what we're seeing the past couple of months. But of the year, we're still above average, 0.72. That's not well above average, but it is above average. Let's talk about your 7-day forecast, because there's not a good chance of rain coming anytime soon. Thursday and Friday, there will be chances. Relatively small, though, at 30%. That's good news for a lot of us, though. A lot of us there for Friday night football, they don't really want the rain. And as of right now, I'm leaning more toward most of us staying dry. But we'll have to watch the weather models. And because I will tell you this, on Friday, they are in bad agreement on whether we'll have rain or not. That's why I went with relatively low chance of rain. So confidence is very low, but it's still there. But we are sure that a front's going to make its way through. It's just, is it going to have moisture to deal with? You got to remember this past weekend was a front that moved through. And it's kind of rare to actually not have a chance of rain when a front rolls on through. But we had some really dry air mass in place, and it looks like we're going to do it all over again there on Thursday and Friday. Still small chances are there. But nonetheless, most of us stay dry with just much cooler conditions.
Yeah, good for Keeneland, maybe not so good for our yards.
That's right, exactly right. Good way to put it.
All right, thank you, Micah. Well, carrying your wife over the threshold means good luck in a new marriage, and you like this story. Carrying her through an obstacle course means beer and cash prizes. The North American Wife Carrying Competition held in Maine over the weekend. A husband and wife from Maine actually won the championship. They'll take home 11 cases of beer and $665, or they can opt to take the weight of their wife in beer and 5 times her weight in the cash. So you got to do math on that one. The couple will go to Finland for the World Championship. Annette Bening is back on the big screen in a legendary lineup of all-time rock giants at the Desert Trip Concert Festival. Suzanne Marquez has those stories and more in today's Eye on Entertainment.
Rolling Stones and Bob Dylan kicked off Desert Trip over the weekend in Indio, California. Paul McCartney and Neil Young performed Saturday night. All the artists are back this coming weekend. Desert Trip is expected to rake in $160 million. Annette Bening and the cast of 20th Century Women turned out for a special screening at the New York Film Festival.
This is the really hard part, and then it gets better.
The movie is set in 1979. Bening plays a single mom sharing a home with her son, a handyman, and a punk artist.
She was so full of contradictions, and as I was working, I was always on that knife edge of trying to find where she was, where the truth of her was.
You can catch 20th Century Women on the big screen in January.
Time to go to America.
And from the makers of Gravity comes the new movie Desierto, starring Gael Garcia Bernal and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. It's about a group of immigrants trying to make it across the U.S. border and the ruthless vigilante who tries to stop them.
It is a portrayal of our biggest nightmare of what can happen when somebody just validates that point of view.
Desierto is out in theaters on Friday. And that's your Eye on Entertainment. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Still to come on WKYT Midmorning, Donald Trump is facing tough scrutiny for the leaked video of him using vulgar language towards women. So how will it affect him with women voters? We'll take a look after the break. Tomorrow night's Mega Millions jackpot at $49 million and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot, $107 million. Welcome back to Midmorning on WKYT. The time now is 10:20 on your Monday. The newly leaked video featuring Donald Trump's comment about groping women draws new attention to his history of questionable statements. The Republican nominee apologized for the language he used in the 2005 tape, but Juan Crawford shows us how this latest incident threatens to erode his support among female voters.
I did try and she was married.
The leaked NBC video was not the only thing this weekend that put Donald Trump's campaign on the defensive.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
can I say this? A piece of
Yeah.
CNN uncovered interviews he did in 2005 and 2006 with shock jock Howard Stern, where he talked about Ivanka Trump's appearance and sleeping with beauty pageant contestants.
Some of these foreign girls, you know, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
Donald, she has a name. After the first debate, Trump spent days attacking 1996 Miss Universe Alicia Machado, who had accused him of making derogatory comments and humiliating her because she gained weight.
She was the worst we ever had. The worst, the absolute worst. She was impossible.
And last week, the Associated Press reported Trump subjected contestants and crew on The Apprentice to crass and sexist behavior.
You dropped to your knees.
Yes.
It must be a pretty picture you dropped into your knees.
He wanted everybody to think that his office was decorated with beautiful women.
Clinton supporter Barbara Ress worked with Trump for nearly 2 decades. A former executive vice president of his company, she says Trump often made inappropriate comments to his staff.
It created a what we call a hostile environment, all the talking about Playboy and stuff like that.
In a May interview with Norah O'Donnell, Ivanka Trump defended her father against accusations of sexism and misogyny.
He's not a groper. It's not who he is. And I've known my father, obviously, my whole life, and he has total respect for women.
This was locker room talk. I'm not proud of it.
Have you ever done those
women
things?
Have respect for me. And I will tell you, no, I have not.
But Trump had a strained relationship with female voters before the latest revelations, says USA Today Washington Bureau Chief Susan Page.
Donald Trump has been leading among men in national polls, but he's trailed among women. In fact, he already had the biggest gender gap in our modern American political history.
Trump has also pointed to his record of promoting women to key positions in his company, but a new CBS News poll found that 53% of female voters in battleground states, including Pennsylvania, said the leaked footage worsened their view of Mr. Trump. Keep it here on Mid-Morning. We're checking in with Mr. Food Text Kitchen when we come back. Do you like fondue? Well, if so, this recipe is certain to leave your mouth craving cheesy, smothered goodness. Here's more in today's Mr. Food.
A few weeks ago, I was at a restaurant where everything was served fondue style. You know, where you dip all sorts of stuff in cheese sauce, hot oil, broth, or melted chocolate. It was amazing. And as I was dipping, I got an idea for a recipe that we're making today. We start off by seasoning a few chicken breasts with a bit of salt and pepper. Then we top each one with some thinly sliced Granny Smith apples that we peeled and cored. Now we top the apples with some Swiss cheese, but rather than stopping there, we take it up a notch by drizzling it with a sauce that we made by mixing together some cream of mushroom soup and a little apple juice. Then we finish it off with some dried herb stuffing mix and a little butter before baking it off. And the nice part is, you probably have everything you need right at home. Does this look good or what? I mean, the chicken is super moist, the apples are the perfect complement to the cheese, and the to-die-for sauce is nothing short of spectacular. I do hope you'll go online and get our recipe for what we call Swiss fondue chicken, so you can introduce your family to a new favorite, and there is no dipping required. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a cheesier way. for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Yummy.
I'll give them that one.
That one did look really good.
Yeah.
I don't know about all the Mr. Foods because I'm not here for them, but that one looked good.
That one looked all right. Here's something else that looks good. My forecast. Check out this 7-day forecast. 70 degrees later on this afternoon. This is going to be a nice day in store. Even better tomorrow. If you ask me, honestly, I'm more of sunny and 75 than sunny and 70. I think 70 is still a little bit cool, especially during the morning hours and early afternoon. So the next few days really are perfect. Now we get off toward Thursday and Friday. That's another big front that rolls on through that knocks our temperatures down. There are chances of rain, but what we're going to have new data come in by noontime. I'll have the updates on that and show you the new numbers there on Thursday and Friday, because right now there are minimal chances of rain. I mean, you're talking 30–40%, and that's about it.
Which for once we could kind of use it.
We could kind of use it. Yeah, October's one of those dry months, and it's really holding up to its name, that's for sure. It's pretty dry out there. And we need the rain, but it doesn't look like we're going to get a lot.
All right. Thank you, Micah. The Bold and the Beautiful is next on CBS. We'll see you right back here at noon. Until then, the news is always on WKYT.com. Bye, everybody.